We'll debate that next week.
Yeah.
Jay here for Stretford Paddock. This is Agree or Disagree. Joining me as always is Mr. Joe Smith.
Hello.
How are we doing?
Very well.
Good to see you. We're back later on for Transfers Live as well tonight. Also, as well, Lauren's here. How are you?
Great. Glad to be back again.
Good to see you back. And Chelsea, of course. How
Hello.
are you?
I'm good, yeah.
Good to see you both back on the channel. If you don't know what this show is about, it's a little bit of a debate where we talk about a topic and we have a discussion, an argument, and decide who's right and who's wrong and what's the best or whatever. This one is about our signings this summer because Manchester United have gone a little bit turbo in the transfer window. We brought in Diego Leon, but we're not going to talk about him. We're going to talk about Cunha, we're going to talk about Mbeumo, and we're going to talk about Benjamin Sesko. I'm going to say, which do you think will be the best signing for Manchester United? Obviously, it's far too early to tell now, and we know that'd be insane, but we can speculate, we can have a guess, we can think about who we believe will be Manchester United's best signing. I know there's a bit of a issue at the minute with
Seems to have stopped.
the flickering, as some people have mentioned in the comments, so we sort of sorted out the gremlins in the machine. Get involved in the chat and the comments and make us hit that like button as well. Right, so how it works is you get 1 minute for an opening statement to argue the case for who you think has been United's or will be United's best signing. Then we'll have a little bit of a debate, and then at the end you have a 30-second closing statement as well. So we'll start off with Joe. Do you know what? You never go first.
Go on then.
I'm going to let you go first. So who's your player that you have chosen?
I think next season, the best player of the three will be Matheus Cunha.
Right, so you're going to Matheus Cunha. I'm going to start the timer. You're going to get a minute to let us know why you think Matheus Cunha will end up being the best signing of this summer for Manchester United. Off you go.
I think that he is the one that the fans will love the most, and for me that's the most important thing. Obviously there's, everyone's obsessed with goals and assists these days, and he's good at all that, he can do that. But I think he's someone that we will fall in love with. The way he plays, his sort of personality, when things are kicking off, he's going to get stuck in. He's a sort of mercurial player who will dribble past 2 or 3 players and put it in the top corner from 25 yards out. And for some reason, I say for some reason, we all know the reason, it's more fun watching that goal than it is a tap-in at the back post. And I want Cesco to score 25 tap-ins at the back post, and top strikers that make a career on that. But in terms of who I want to see week in, week out, of the three right now, I think Matheus Cunha just has that little edge on the other two. I think all three of them are great signings, great players. Can't wait to watch all of them. But just as a prediction, I think it's going to be you walk into Old Trafford talking about what Matheus Cunha is going to do this week.
Yeah, thank you for that, Joe. I think Matheus Cunha, it's almost like, it sounds bizarre considering we only signed him about 6 weeks ago. It's almost become the forgotten man.
Yeah.
Because there's all the hype about Mbeumo that went on for a little while. Then it's like Benjamin Sesko, and now already all three of them are almost getting ignored because everyone's on like, are we going to get Carlos Baleba? But I was chuffed to bits when we got Matheus Cunha. We will get to more of that in a minute. Don't forget as well, you can get involved in the chat in the comments, and we will be doing a poll. We'll put a poll up so you can have a vote and you can let us know what you think. We'll put that up a little bit later. Chelsea, you can go next. Who's the player that you're going to defend? Not say defend, but make the case for. We're not defending anyone.
So I'm going to make a case for Benjamin Sesko.
Benjamin Sesko, the latest signing for Manchester United. Right, you've got a minute to tell us why you think Benjamin Sesko will be the signing of the summer.
So I'm not going to pretend that I'm an expert in Cesco, and I've particularly seen him play very often. I've not, you see your highlight reels and you see what you kind of want to see. But for me, I'm the most excited about seeing Cesco is because we've been crying out for that clinical striker for the longest time now. Obviously, with the talk of Højlund potentially going on loan as well. Obviously, he's going to be that main man up front. Obviously, he's 6'5", he's brilliant in the air. He, from what I've seen, scores some very, very good goals, and I think I'm just really excited to see that link-up play with Mbeumo, with Cunha, with Bruno. I think that kind of attacking prowess just really excites me, and I think he will be the front and centre of that. Like I said, he is 6'5", he's a big lad, and you want someone like that in the box, but he isn't. I don't think he is your typical kind of waiting in the box, tapping in striker. I think he makes the runs, he makes the play, he makes the dribbles, and I think he just comes across as that very exciting striker that I'm just honestly so excited. And I think, we've finally got our striker now. He's 22 years old. We've got him for the next, hopefully, 10 years. Like, he will be the front man of Manchester United. And I'm excited about that.
Yeah, you said it there. I think you can't help but be excited about the signing of Benjamin Sesko. I also like the fact it was a little bit out of the blue.
Yeah.
We had time to get used to the idea of Cunha.
Yeah.
We had time to get used to the idea of Mbeumo. And I know United have been linked with Sesko in the past, but it felt at one point like he was going to go to Arsenal.
I still don't feel like we've signed him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's
I don't feel like he's actually a Man United player to me.
He's of all the signings like we've had, that's the one that feels the most unreal. United. It's like
Thank you, Newcastle.
Actually. That made us go, actually, we better get him.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'll come. Both of you are making great points there. So exciting times at Manchester United.
It's the hope that kills us.
It is. It'll all be over. But Sunday night, I'll be sat crying at Old Trafford.
We lost 10.
Yeah, exactly. Lauren, last but by no means least, you're going to obviously talk about Bryan Mbeumo. You've got a minute to tell us why he's been the signing of the summer.
I think with Mbeumo, it's already exciting because at Brentford he was really exciting. You know, there was that point where he was scoring goals in less than 30 seconds of a game. That's exciting because we can't do it in the first half the time. But with Mbeumo as well, that guy, he's got the pace, he can make the runs, he finds space where others won't find the space. I think he's got that creativity and he can weave in and out, and he can find other players, and I think he'll be the one that can make the connection kind of between Bruno then to Sesko. I think that he's going to be the gel on that left side, so I think right side should I say. So I think that's the exciting part about Mbeumo, is that creativity that we're going to see a lot, that is what we've been calling out for, basically, and that space that he can make to create goals.
Yeah, good points. Completely agree. All you keep saying the same thing about exciting. Exciting signs.
It's definitely exciting.
It is. It is. Signings are always great when it's 3 attackers.
Oh yeah.
Who've scored goals, who score good goals as well, and who, for different reasons, are sort of wanted by other clubs too. It just adds to a nice mix, doesn't it? And even for someone like me who doesn't watch a lot of football other than Manchester United, I know a lot about Bryan Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha because we've seen them in the Premier League week in, week out. We've seen what we do, especially in Cunha's case, what he's done against Manchester United. And Cesco has been one of the most spoken about strikers in the last sort of 3 or 4 years, really. Probably mainly the last couple of years, but everyone knows who Benjamin Cesco is and what he's about. So it does feel as though Manchester United are making right moves. There could be an argument, and I'll put this out there, if you open up a debate for 5 minutes, and this is an argument which has been the signing then? Because you've all been saying the signings of the summer, and I get it, and I agree, and it's all exciting, but is there a case, for example, that maybe one signing was better than the other because he was more needed than the other?
Ooh.
I don't know. I think if you were asking Rasmus Højlund what we needed, he would say someone to give me the fucking ball.
Right.
Yeah.
And for that reason, a number 10 it may well be more important. If you were asking Garnacho what we needed, he would probably say someone I can actually pass to that's going to be there.
Yeah.
I think what we needed was an entirely new front three.
Yeah.
I think Ahmad can do the job there, but other than that, what we've got is what we needed. I think that, yes, we needed a striker, but if we'd have just put Sesko up front, or even if you'd have just put, I don't know, who's the sort of type, put Haaland up front for last season's Man United, he would have got more than Højlund. He might have got 25 goals.
But he still wouldn't have got the service.
Yeah, but it wouldn't. He couldn't have possibly replicated the sort of goal scoring form he's had for the rest of his career at Man United last season. He just couldn't. So we needed everything. And I think, obviously, in terms of, I'm not going to sit here and slag off the Mbeumo and Cesco, because I think they're great signings. I just think that Cunha can just do a little bit more in those risky moments, or those moments where a team sat back, or you need a bit of something special from someone. I just feel like he's got that extra kind of 5% creativity. In a tight space, he can cut out of it and put one in the top corner. They can all do that on their day. I just feel like Cunha, you watch him and you think it's almost like we've got another Bruno Fernandes. Not quite as good on the ball, but his legs are better. I just think, for me, I'm really excited for him.
I just think that Mbeumo can create the partnership through the midfield as well, and he can do more in the midfield as well as going forward. And he got 20 goals last season as well, so he can also create those goals. Yeah. So it's not just he can pass and create a chance, he can score them as well very easily, and we've seen that in the Premier League with 20 goals.
I find it hard to quite isolate one of the 3 players, but just because I think, like you said, if we had Sesko without Cunha, if we had Cunha without Sesko, do you know what I mean? Like, they all kind of tie together really well. But I just think my thing with him and Mbeumo, as much as I rate him, and I'm obviously so happy that we signed for us, I think obviously he was the main man at Brentford, and I feel like obviously he's not going to be our main man, which is not saying that he's not going to do well for us, because I think he will. But I just think Højlund, he could have had more service, but I feel like he has had so many chances to prove himself, so many times where he's been in on goal and he's just not had that end product. And from what I can see from Cesco, I think he has that end product, and I think that's something we've been crying out for the longest time.
I get your point about being the main man, but isn't there a case to be made that all of them were the main men at their previous clubs and they're not going to be now? Were they all going to have to adapt? Or do you think it's more prevalent for Mbeumo because he was the penalty taker as well? Is that what you...
Quite possibly, yeah. And I'm not one for saying about stat padding, because obviously people say Bruno's a stat padder, which I completely disagree with.
I never get that.
No, I don't. But at the end of the day, you need someone to take your penalties, and you've got your kind of goal scorer who can score those penalties. But I just think having that prolific striker who doesn't just sit and wait in the box and still misses his chances and actually puts the runs in and does the, and I just think he will just be probably the icing on the cake for me.
I think stat padding is bollocks.
I do. 100%.
There's too many players on the pitch for one person to be kind of falsely given chances. Like in basketball or something, it's like it feels like it comes from basketball or other sports. There's 5 people on each team, and one player can be given the ball way more often than others to allow them to take more shots, etc. Football isn't like that. You can't just, I just fancied scoring 50 goals last season, so I did. Like, everyone is trying all the time to do everything they can. I think this idea of stat padding is just nonsense, especially in football.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that with Bruno when he came in, and he scored loads of goals.
Penalties.
And it was like people saying like, "Oh, penalties, it's stat padding." But
every team has a penalty.
You still got to score it.
Someone's got to take them.
And also you got to be given the penalty.
It would simply be stat padding for our squad.
Yeah.
you have a goal kick instead, sir. Like what?
Like his record as well, Bruno's record was phenomenal when he came for penalties. Wasn't it like he scored 25 out of 27 or something stupid, or 26 even?
Not obviously you haven't picked anyone, Jay. Who would you have picked if you were as part of this as well? Because we're all here. None of us want to slag off anyone.
No,
we're all
definitely
happy about
not.
all of these transfers. So it's more about being excited together. But who do you look at and think that's?
I don't want to sit on a fence, right? But can I give you sort of the Carl Anka?
3
Can I do
answers.
when Carl Anka takes his hat off? So I'm going to take my analytical hat off and put my fan hat on.
Put it on.
As a fan, Cunha.
Do you think?
All my days, love watching him play. Love everything about him. Love his edge, love the fact he's got a bit about him, love that, love the fact that even when he does something that's a bit daft, I don't mind that. When he runs into like something that doesn't quite come off, he wants the ball and he tries to create, and he always seems a little bit more direct than someone like a Garnacho who wants the ball all the time but at times doesn't quite have that end product. So whenever I've seen Cunha for Wolves, I've been massively impressed. I just love everything about him, and I think he just feels like a Manchester United player. When you say to me what's a Manchester United player, I think it's Cunha.
Yeah.
However, the sort of, if I can talk about my sort of maybe a little bit more objective thought.
Put your objective hat on.
Would be, I think Sesko could be the bit of more the game changer because I worry about Rasmus Højlund. I do. And I've said this a lot. This is me having a dig at the kid. I feel for him and I shouldn't be feeling sorry for the United number 9. But he gets so much grief and he's struggled so much that I just worry that there's rumours as well that maybe his teammates aren't picking him out enough. He's unhappy with them.
And he got kept on the bench for a whole night.
It's not great, is it?
As well.
So I think that maybe Sesko's that guy who will get the service a bit more because he demands it, and also he's probably got a little bit more about him than Rasmus Højlund. But no, it's Cunha for me who I'm the most excited about seeing, and I think it's about time we had that debate where it's not just like who's the least crap, which
Who's the
seems
best?
to be the basis
Remember
of the
last
debate.
season how much of that there was?
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
best
that's
of
what
bunch.
what we were
Every
doing
time.
It wasn't
all
like
season.
this guy should play. It was, well, he can't play. He's terrible.
Yeah.
It was, wasn't it?
Therefore, you have to play.
You have to play that.
But it was
None
like-
of these, Garnacho, there's a point where Garnacho, Zirkzee and Højlund had, I think, combined hadn't scored for like 50 games.
When Marcus Rashford
And
left
you're like-
and he was still like our top scorer away from home for about
Until about
and he weren't even scoring that many goals when he was there.
No.
It was
No,
like,
it was
what is
insane.
going on? I remember when Ahmad was right wing back, did quite well. And it was like, well, we can't afford to have him there. We need him at number 10. I was like, why? We've got no other. Do you know
But we
what I mean?
could now
It's
have
like,
him
We have
there,
options.
which
and
I
like
think
Ahmad,
is
but
a great
it's not big
option.
Choices,
Yeah.
squad depth.
We can now kind of work him into that role, Ahmad,
Yeah.
which will work.
That's what I mean, it does, and it's nice to have options for once. Right, well, let's do our 30-second closing statement. Lauren, you can start.
Is the poll going?
Yes, the poll is up. Sorry, good point. I should have said that. And people have been getting involved, but it's good to remind you. There is a poll up, so you can vote for. And remember, we're not having a dig at anyone here. We're saying who's the player you think will be the best signing for Manchester United, the ones we've made this summer. Who are you most excited about? Who do you think is going to end up this time next year? You're going, he was the best one. Lauren, you've got 30 seconds to make your closing statement. Off you go.
I think Mbeumo for me because he's kind of a guy that doesn't stop, so he'll constantly running around. He'll be exciting to watch, see where he's going, see what he's doing, what space he's finding. He can bang the goals in as well as create them. So I think that he's kind of got the all-round package, and I think that that's the exciting thing for me because I mean, it's that kind of high-intensity player. And I think we've kind of lacked that in some areas. So I think that's why I think he's going to be the most exciting, and he can bring the goals as well.
Good shout. I get where you're coming from. Tashwell Prince says, what about Leon? Yeah, Diego Leon, good signing, good youngster, but
he's 18. He's
not
going to be a starter yet.
He might end up being, having a Patrice Evra style career at United, where you go look back. But I think for the purposes of this debate, you can understand why we've picked the players that are expected to go straight into the first team and have cost a lot of money for a reason. Diego Leon is one for the future, and there's other signings we've made, obviously, this summer that are ones for the future too. Chelsea, you can go next. Give us 30 seconds on why Benjamin Sesko is the answer to all our problems.
So I think out of all this, I think Cesco is the one that I'm the most excited about and the one that I think is going to make the most of a difference. Like I said, we've been crying out for a clinical number 9 for the longest time. Obviously, I do feel for Højlund, but he's just not doing it. We need someone who, when he gets the ball, he's going to go and do something with it. Even if he's not in the box, he's going to get into that box and he's going to get in the right places. Again, he's high, from corners, set pieces, you want someone other than Maguire who can get the head on it. And I just think having that commanding number 9 up front, I think is going to be a game changer for the squad.
Yeah, good stuff. A film named Huggy says it's Belabour as of next week.
We will see.
Yeah, we'll just do this same debate, but we'll have debate.
Next week.
We'll have Belabour in. Yeah, that'll be.
You can join it as well.
I will lose my mind if we sign Belabour as well. I'll be saying all sorts of nonsense. Thanks, Chels. Thanks, Lauren. Joe, you've got 30 seconds to tell us why Matheus Cunha is going to be the signing of the summer.
Like we said, these are all good signings, all needed, all going to improve Manchester United. But I just think Cunha's got that X factor in a way that the other two don't. And Mbeumo is sort of ruthless efficiency. He does the right thing every time, and there is a brilliance to that. Sesko has got this kind of raw aggression, up and down, big, strong, fast. But Cunha's got edge of your seat stuff. Whenever he gets the ball, you think, what's he going to do? And I just think for me that right now, obviously we'll see how the season goes. Right now, I want to watch Matheus Cunha and I want to see what he does with the ball every time he gets it. Time.
Yes, sorry, that's my fault. I got a couple of super chats.
My opinion,
no, listen, they're all good opinions. I'm buzzing because we've got 3 players who I can't wait to see. I'm actually looking forward to the game on Sunday, not dreading it.
Oh, so
good. I know, obviously, sometimes you need a backup left back.
Yeah.
But the fact that we've gone out and bought 3 really exciting, really good players that are all going to start is so good.
Because the thing is, sometimes you have to sort of almost convince yourself, don't you? Like when Xerxes comes in, I'm not knocking Joshua Xerxes, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I was thinking 2 years ago we need to get Joshua Xerxes. He's the answer to the problem. I'm not saying I didn't want him, but he's he scored 12 goals at Bologna, whatever, he did well, good player, I'm not disputing that. Manu Ugarte, good player, I'm not disputing that. But it wasn't like you went out and you went, oh my God, these are the players that I've been looking at for the last year or two, saying we should be getting. Where that has been the case with Matheus Cunha, that has been the case with Bryan and Mbeumo, and that has been the case with Benjamin Sesko, where we've been watching him for a little while going, I'd love to see him at United. And we've got all 3 of them, it's mint. Craig has been a member of the Academy for 35 months, thank you for your support. Says it does feel like there's the same level of excitement for all this summer's signings as there was for Bruno when he arrived. I agree. I think there's
I agree.
Maybe more, I think even Bruno was a little bit more, not unknown, but less known than some of these players. Because
definitely.
Remember some people saying, oh, he went to Serie A and it didn't work out, and why is no one else in for him? But
what happened there?
the rest is history.
Your voice was different back then, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, that was just me.
All of that.
Spurs wanted him and didn't even bother why we got him. I'll name this podcast later as gifted a membership. Thank you. Got a big video coming up on the membership soon, on the member section soon. Thank you. I'll just read a couple more comments. The voting has now closed. It's been quite close, but we'll get into it. David Griffith says, I suspect Mbeumo will be our best and most consistent performer, but I understand why people are more excited by Sesko and Cunha. Sashwell Prince says Cunha. Ash and stuff says off topic or out of topic. You guys don't have to discuss this right now, but did you watch Rashford's interview? If you did, what do you guys think about it? We'll chat about that a little later. I think we've got transfers live. So me and Joe will get into that a little bit because obviously he was on the rest. Is it the rest is football?
I don't know what it's even
called. Is it the rest is football? Yeah. Is it the Gary Lineker and Mickey Richards one?
Yeah.
So we'll get into that a little bit later. Seth Trollins says Mbeumo is like our Salah signing. I think he'll really kick on. I'm surprised a few of the numbers he puts up. Yeah, I love that. Why not?
That.
If anything, he's going to be better than Mohamed Salah.
Yeah, he is.
Should we get into the
Come on,
into
Joe.
the. Where's
Hit me with
the?
the
Have you got the
results.
poll? Is it gone? Oh right, thank you. It's just disappeared, but don't worry. I have been giving it. So the numbers are in.
Just desperate to win, that's all.
I've got the.
I'm the only one
trophy
that's
as well.
not Will.
So who is United's
won
best
yet?
summer signing so far? In third place, and it's quite close between third and second, is Lauren
Oh,
with 26%.
I
You
picked
picked
no,
Phillips.
because I am
because,
actually
yeah.
excited about
to be
him.
fair,
No, because,
I
yeah.
thought Mbeumo would probably win this.
Yeah.
I'm excited
That
about
Feels
him.
like
I
he's
think
throwing
he's
shade in there. I thought Mbeumo should have won this.
I'll be honest.
but,
However,
you know, in the hands of a better
obviously
better
I'm
debater,
really
better
bad. I'm really bad at debating. I think that's the problem.
Can I just ask you, Lauren, why do you hate Bryan and Mbeumo? Why have you done this to him?
Yeah.
I picked him because I hate him because I knew no one would pick me.
Vote for Mbeumo.
It's a popularity
You don't like
contest at
winning.
this point. It's a popularity
No,
contest.
it's not. The votes were close, to be fair. In second place, with 4% more, is Chelsea with Sesko. On 30%. So it means Joe, who ended with 43%. So if you two had ganged up on him, you could have won.
Thank you, everyone.
He's won with
Joe.
Matheus Cunha there. You get a little trophy there, Joseph. Well done. It means a lot to him. Can we have his single, please? It does mean a lot to Joe.
Oh, amazing.
You know when people say he doesn't care about trophies? He does care about the
Who says
trophies.
I don't care about trophies?
No,
This
people
is the
say- it's
most
a general statement.
prolific.
fuck
Not
that, I
you
love
personally.
trophies.
He loves
Trophies, trophies, trophies. Get it.
Do you know what I mean? So,
Look
yeah,
at that.
the thing is as well, you did get to choose first, and it's like
I
that's
chose
the
last.
that's the thing.
know.
Like usually, it's like that is the bit of the argument.
I'll
that
let
goes
you have a
on,
go
well,
first.
You know, you picked first,
No,
but
obviously.
well done, Joe.
Try
It
again
doesn't matter.
I'm glad that the votes were pretty evenly split.
Yeah.
I'm glad that everyone's excited about the new season. We've got a lot of players there that we're excited to see and we think are going to fit in well. And there's loads of good points made there. And it's not like you can single one of them out and go, oh, I don't know why we've got him. I think we're all looking forward to it.
See yourself in the bum
See
there,
my face
Joe.
and his buttocks.
Oh, nice shiny buttocks.
Sound like Carl Anker there. Sebastian says Cunha was the most impressive in the pre-season.
Yeah.
Shows a lot of willingness, great movement and creativity. Yeah, he did well, Cunha. I
He was
thought
the
Mbeumo-
fittest as well, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
he was.
So-
He's
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah.
I think Mbeumo's not had a full pre-season. We've not seen Sesko in a red shirt yet,
Nope.
but we will very soon. Really enjoyed that, Lauren. Always a pleasure. Thanks for coming on the channel.
Can I just say,
Go on.
we were linked with Ollie Watkins, so I'd like an apology for anyone that
Yeah.
took the piss out of me for ever wanting him, because we were linked with him for quite a bit of time.
We were.
That's actually fair enough.
And
'cause
Yeah,
when you
you-
first
Everyone
mentioned-
laughed at
Yeah,
me.
when you first
We did.
mentioned us wanted to sign Ollie Watkins, everyone's like, we're never going to get him. It was Jay again in 2019. We're never going to get him.
Everyone was like, oh,
Yeah,
why would you want him?
And then it was literally between him and Sesko. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
fair play. Good
Well
shout. Well done.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
Well done.
Hey, you were,
You
you
won
were
that
right
one. You
and
won that
everyone
one.
else was wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah. Chels, thanks for coming on the
Thank you.
channel again. You guys back next week?
Yeah.
We'll do this
Yes,
again next
we
week.
are.
Absolutely.
Joe, me and you're going to be back later on tonight out with Transfers Live. I think, is it after the Super Cup game? What time's the Super
Yes.
Cup game?
So the Super Cup is at 8 o'clock. We'll be back at 10 o'clock with Transfers Live.
Right. So make sure if you're not doing so already, you are hitting like, share and subscribe. That's been Joe Smith. That's been Chelsea. That's been Lauren. I've been Jay. This has been Agree or Disagree. Joe's the winner. Thanks for watching.